guys, it's your girl Jaque here again. Welcome back, guys. I'm so excited. Look at my face, so excited, full of excitement. Anyways, guys, let's just get straight to the video, guys. There's no more fuzzle, hustle, wuzzle gonna happen. Let's just get straight to the video.
Children's books are usually filled with fantastical characters going on amazing adventures, all to teach kids wonderful lessons about life.
Yes.
But sometimes a classic kid story can strike you as really weird, or even a bit disturbing. Like fairy tales with super freaky origins and old cautionary stories that take punishments way too far. So are you still sitting comfortably? Because we're about to take a look at some of the darkest, weirdest, and most shocking children's tales that you won't believe are real. The tomboy who changed into a real boy.
Is that
For parents in the 1800s, nothing was more daunting than having a little girl who didn't want to act like a little girl. And it was this that led to the creation of Little Miss Consequence back in 1880.
Consequence. I
It's
never
a
heard
book
of
aimed
that.
at young girls filled with cautionary stories about bad manners, like the tomboy who changed into a real boy. And that title may seem pretty self-explanatory, but the story goes into some seriously disturbing details.
Is it gonna get dark? Is it gonna get super dark? Like all the fairy tales at Disney's?
Follows the daughter of an earl who really doesn't want to act like a prim
She's
and
like
proper
the
young
mermaid.
lady. So instead of learning boring embroidery, she goes off sledding, climbing trees, and playing football with the boys. And that doesn't exactly sound like a big issue, except as punishment for her boyish actions, she mysteriously begins to look and sound like a boy. Her voice grows hoarse, her physique grows rougher, until one day she suddenly transforms into a real boy down in the pants department.
I mean, that's what she likes, right? She wants to be a boy.
Now, I'm no doctor, but I'm fairly certain that's not how this works, though the story doesn't end there. After the transformation, her mortified parents pay off a ship's captain to take her on as a sailor, and she's shipped off to sea, never to be heard from again. And this may have been written to try and stop girls acting like boys, but now it just reads like a tragic tale of bad parenting. Outside over there.
It is bad parenting. I mean, this is just a fairy tale, but if this happens in real life, I think a lot of people would transition from a boy to a girl and a girl to a boy. Everybody's transitioning. Look at the news.
Maurice Sendak was an author who was adored for writing and illustrating dreamlike children's books, such as Where the Wild Things Are and In the Night Kitchen. But his story Outside Over There was less like a dream and more like a nightmare. Ida, our young heroine, is left at home to watch her baby sister. But as she whimsically plays her horn,
What happened? What happened when she plays her horn?
evil, faceless goblins sneak in and steal the baby, leaving a terrifying replacement made of ice in her cradle.
Oh.
And if you thought the face of that thing was harrowing enough, believe me, it gets worse. Later, when Ida picks up the child, the icy infant horrifyingly melts through her fingers.
Yeah, because it's made of ice.
Despite being traumatized, Ida bravely sets off to rescue her sister, and eventually carries her home again.
Okay.
I guess there's nothing like a classic
Is there a
baby
plot
snatching
twist here?
story to lull a child to sleep.
Okay, I want to know about
Cinderella
the
is
Cinderella.
another well-loved Disney film about a princess who finds her prince with the help of talking animals, a flamboyant fairy godmother.
I believe a lot of people, most of the people watch Cinderella in their childhood and until now, and there's also remakes of the adult films right now where people are starring, like real people are starring in Cinderella.
And a pair of impossibly small feet. But the original story it's based on ain't no family-friendly fairy tale.
Okay, I want to
You
know.
see, the Brothers Grimm first put the tale to paper back in 1812 under the name Aschenputtel. Like their name suggests, this German duo produced a variety of gritty fairy tales that were the opposite of Disney in almost every way. For a start, in Aschenputtel, there aren't any fairy godmothers going bibbidi-bibbidi-boo. Instead, the heroine has a magic tree that she's grown on her mother's grave by watering it with her tears. Now, the tree provides her with whatever she needs, but that's still insanely depressing, though it gets worse. In Disney's story, the prince tries to find Cinderella.
Okay, I've heard of this. So, you know, when they're trying on the slippers, the evil stepsisters, it doesn't even fit on their feet, on their foot. So they literally, the real story of that, they literally cut off their toe so that it would fit on the glass slippers. But I'm sure this is the real story. But let's see if it's real.
By having all the maidens in the land try on a shoe she left behind at the ball. However, Cinderella's cruel stepmother locks her away so one of her own two daughters might be chosen. Try as they might, the shoe doesn't fit, and Cinderella wins. But in Aschenputtel, this scene gets seriously gory. To make her foot fit in the tiny shoe, the first stepsister slices off her big toe. But upon seeing the mangled state of her foot, the prince realizes she's not the one. So the shoe is presented to the second stepsister, who cuts off her heel to make her foot fit. However, her ploy doesn't work either.
It is true. What I said is true.
Eventually, the small-footed Aschenputtel slips on the shoe and rides off into the sunset with Prince Charming. But the brutality doesn't stop there. On Aschenputtel's wedding day, the stepsisters fake their kindness towards her in order to get on the good side of the future princess. But as they're walking down the aisle, they have their eyes pecked out by angry pigeons for all their wickedness.
I didn't know that. That is so gory.
Ooh, no wonder Disney made all those cuts.
Okay, guys.
Painfully punny,
have you heard
bad
of
hair.
this Goosebumps? They have a lot of series of books that I haven't read, but you can read it. It's from the name itself, Goosebumps.
Day. It tells the story of a kid who wants to learn magic, so he steals a box of tricks from his favorite magician. But to his horror, one of them accidentally turns his sister into a rabbit. Ashamed, he seeks out the magician to turn her back, only to discover that the real magician is a talking rabbit who got cursed by a sorcerer long ago.
Wow.
The rabbit then offers the boy a chance to be in his new act, but when the boy accepts, can you guess what happens?
He turned into a rabbit.
Yep, he too is turned into a fluffy white rabbit. Personally, I don't see what's so scary about being turned into a rabbit, unless you're allergic to carrots. But it gets even weirder and stickier in the Choose Your Own Adventure book, Beware the Purple Peanut Butter. In it, you, the reader, are playing hide.
Oh my God, this is so... R.L. Stine, the author of Goosebumps, is really good. He has so much creative thought. Gory a little bit and scary, but his imagination is so wide.
Seek when you get hungry and decide to snack on some weird purple goo you found in an old refrigerator. But the strange slime suddenly shrinks you down, and you're faced with being locked in the icebox, being flushed down the toilet, or fighting a big mouse. I think I'd take the mouse over the toilet any day. How about you?
Yeah.
Somehow, the series gets even stickier in the Monster Blood saga. These books follow the evil trail of a thick, sentient slime as it consumes everything in its path, including people and animals. It also has the power to turn animals like hamsters into ferocious gorilla-sized goons. And it even becomes an aquatic military super...
See, like I told you, he's so creative. Like who does this? They can make this one out of a movie. I think they did already. I'm not sure, but it doesn't get intense as the ones in the book.
Multiplies when it's exposed to water. Ugh, yikes.
Yikes.
I wouldn't want to be sat on that toilet when they attack. But the creepy crown jewel of the Goosebumps series has got to be The Curse of Camp Cold Lake. If not for that disturbing cover art alone. It follows a young girl who really, really hates summer camp. Mainly because there's someone watching and stalking her every move. One by
like
one,
a ghost?
her campmates meet awful, deadly fates until one day she does too. Like trying to get kids to go to camp wasn't hard enough already.